Hey guys, in the last video you might remember that I spoke about how the food we eat can either energize our little mouse on its treadmill or it can cover it in fumes. In this video we will be exploring how we can eat to energize our little mice and ultimately ourselves. The two main sources of fuel for our energy production are glucose from the breakdown of carbohydrates and fatty acids from the breakdown of fats. Glucose is the fuel our brain, our nervous system, kidneys, and our red blood cells prefer. It is also the fuel that is used when we immediately start exercising. Now, the two main differences in carbohydrates are simple and complex. Sometimes other people refer to them as sweets or starch-based. Now, simple carbohydrates are things like lollies, soft drinks, fruit juices, sugar, and basically all those other sweet products. These provide our body with quick energy as they enter our bloodstream quickly, where they're either used up or stored as fat. And unfortunately, I don't feel like they give us any nutritional benefits. Actually, I would argue that in most cases they detract from our health. That's probably a conversation for another day. Complex carbohydrate examples are things like sweet potato, brown rice, and pumpkin. They generally take longer to enter our bloodstream, so therefore they provide us with a more sustained level of energy. What I really want you to take away from here is that it's the source of a carbohydrate that matters. Carbohydrate from whole food sources are packed with nutrients which allow the body to digest them more effectively, resulting in more energy supplied for you. Now, fatty acids are a great source of energy for our entire body, one of which many of us no longer efficiently use. Being able to use our fatty acids as a source of energy allows for an even but also a very plentiful supply of energy across our whole day. Unfortunately, many people today are scared to consume fats for the fear that eating fat will make you fat, thanks to many years of being told that is true. That I can tell you right now is not true. Like our carbohydrates, we must differentiate between the types of fat so we can understand the ones that are beneficial for our health, but also the ones that might detract from our health. So, the fats that add to our health are things like saturated fats, monounsaturated fats, and polyunsaturated fats. And all of these can be attained through whole foods. I probably think you guys are starting to see a trend here. Nature gets it right. It's generally human intervention that can get it so wrong. The fats we should be concerned about are our trans fats and those poor quality vegetable oils. These fats are mainly found in processed foods such as biscuits, muesli bars, foods that have those long shelf lives, and deep fried foods. Polyunsaturated fats can also become trans fats when they are processed, or heating can also cause the oil to damage. Now, I'm not going to start a rant here, but this is a big reason why I've moved to a mainly whole food diet. There is also an optimal ratio of fats we should be consuming. I'm sure many of you have heard of both omega-3 and omega-6 fats. These are fats that sit under the polyunsaturated fat banner. Now, too many omega-6 fats can cause inflammation, and fighting off this inflammation can detract from our much needed resources of energy. Omega-3 fats are broken down to EPA and DHA, and I'm sure you've heard of both of these. They're very powerful anti-inflammatories and also great for our memory and our brain health. Now, these can actually reduce inflammation in our body. Omega-6 fatty acids are found in processed foods and therefore are abundant in our typical Western diets. Omega-6 fatty acids are often lacking. So DHA can be found in oily fish such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines. And EPA can be found in things like flax seeds, walnuts, and chia seeds. Now, during the low-fat era, we took away this vital source of energy for our bodies. And when we took the fat out, we often replaced it with simple carbohydrates like sugars. And then to mask the extra sweetness, we ended up adding salt in. So we ended up eating more salt and more sugar than ever before. Now, fat from real food is more satiating, meaning that you will stay fuller for longer and you can also have a more sustained energy output. A lot of people find that when they actually start consuming the right fats, that their desire for sweet food actually reduces. Therefore, you end up getting a more sustained energy throughout the day. In the last video, I also spoke about how the food we eat is processed through those biochemical pathways that basically takes the food we eat, delivers it to our little mice, and they make the ATP, or our energy. Now, this is where our micronutrients are needed. They help with these biochemical pathways. The most important of these micronutrients are our B vitamins. Now, there are 7 B vitamins. However, 3 of them are essential to making ATP from our food. They are thiamine, which is B1, riboflavin, which is B2, and niacin, which is B3. They are what I refer to as cofactors, or another way of putting it is little helpers. Without these nutrients, we can be left feeling kind of sluggish, as the energy conversion that happens in our cells is either slowed down or sometimes totally disrupted altogether. We need to consume adequate amount of B vitamins, as our body does not store them. They're water soluble, which means that whatever we eat and we don't use, they're basically excreted from our body. When we consume B vitamins in the food we eat, they tend to be better absorbed, as there's like other nutrients with the B vitamins that actually help our body absorb them. Now remember, nature tends to get it right. So sources of B vitamin include, so B1 are things like our lentils, nuts, seeds, tuna, pork, great sources of B1. B2 are things like leafy greens, tomatoes, almonds, and eggs. And niacin, which is our B3, is basically all our meats are great for it, but also peanuts, beans, and wheat. Now, a great way to ensure that you're achieving enough of these B vitamins throughout the day is basically as simple as maybe sprinkling some nuts and seeds on all of your meals. Yep, breakfast, lunch, dinner, you can put nuts and seeds on all of those, or you can add an extra serving of green leafy veggies each day. If you ensure that you're conscious of adding a vitamin B rich food at every meal, it will really honestly help you sustain energy all day long. Now remember that B vitamins don't actually contain the energy. That is our macronutrients, our fats and our carbohydrates. They contain the energy, but it's our B vitamins that allow our body to obtain the energy from those foods. Okay, so to wrap up, remember, the food we eat provides us with both the nutrients to nourish our bodies and the fuel we need to run our bodies. Therefore, what we choose to put in our bodies either meets these needs or falls short or completely disrupts them. Now, I hope that this video has allowed you to sort of gain a bit of an understanding how some of the food that you eat can either nourish you or can deplete you, and just be conscious of it. So when you go to choose something, maybe pick something that is a little bit more nourishing than what you maybe would normally go for. Our next video, I'm going to be talking how the way we move our body can also energize us, but it may also deplete our energy as well. So stay tuned, and I look forward to seeing you for that one.